So, Jacqueline, now we know the Navy possibly heard this implosion on Sunday. So just kind of walk us through how, I guess, the Coast Guard is handling this from a media perspective, because this creates more questions into what they knew and why it was still deemed a search and recovery.
Yeah, that's right. And Kira, you have to remember that any more additional information, especially in the early stages of the investigation, is very helpful. So a senior U.S. Navy official did confirm that it was their underwater detection system that likely heard the implosion of the Titan sub. And they immediately shared this information with the Coast Guard on Sunday. And once this information was shared, you have to also think the ocean is a vast place. It's huge. So any sort of information that might help pinpoint where the sub could be is helpful. We have reached out to the Coast Guard to see if they have any sort of response to the U.S. Navy's comment. We haven't heard anything back, at least in time for this broadcast. But ultimately, this is nothing but helpful information, Kira, as they did that search and rescue mission in the early days of this investigation leading on into yesterday.
So, Sam, what more are we learning now about what apparently, were very clear safety concerns surrounding this submersible? And now we're starting to see these interviews that Stockton Rush had done in the past about, breaking the rules in order to enterprise.
Yeah, he wanted to be a pioneer in this industry. We saw him in that video from 2021. He was showing a current passenger, what the inside of this sub looked like, and he was saying he broke the rules. He did things that other people weren't willing to do, and at the time he believed, likely believed, that this was the best thing, the future of these submersible vehicles. He was going to build more and bring more people to the Titanic before it disappeared. What he was aiming for was research and to show the world that this was disappearing because of bacteria, and he wanted the best for everyone. Now his co-founder is speaking out today and echoing that message.
We've never treated any of these crew members as participants or as tourists. In fact, that is precisely the selling point for a lot of these people to join our expeditions. They did not want to be tourists. They did not want to be passengers. They wanted to be active participants who were key members of the crew, and they were treated that way. And at least when I was there, we always were very transparent with anyone who was going to join us on expeditions about the risks involved.
And I spoke with a man who went down last year, and he said he was very aware of the risks involved. In fact, his wife was on that host ship, the Polar Prince, and he kissed her goodbye. And in his head, he said he knew that this could be the last time that he ever sees her.
Wow. And Sam, let's talk about OceanGate, just the company itself and the inner workings of this company. What's going to happen?
That's a great question, and it could go a number of ways. You have to remember, Stockton Rush, this was his baby. This was his passion. He partially funded this. He was really the energy behind this operation. So what happens now is a big question. His wife, Wendy, she worked for the company as well. You also have this co-founder, but a lot of pieces have to come together to make this company go forward. And you have to wonder, who would go on one of these submersible vehicles after such an incident?
So, Jacqueline, what's next for the investigation now?
Well, Kira, the #1 priority of the U.S. Coast Guard, who is leading the investigation, says that they are focused on documenting the scene. They are continuing operations on the sea floor. They want to make sure that they're able to capture every piece of evidence that they can, because ultimately there's a lot of unknown questions. They said that they're trying to document the timeline. They're trying to figure out how this happened, why this happened. And also remember, this is a very complex case. It involved victims from countries all over the world. So they're also working with the partner governments to make sure those needs are met as well, Kira. So it will take months, days, weeks, months, Kira.
And we'll be following it. Jacqueline, Sam, thanks guys so much.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.